This first reading comes from the United Kingdom's Huffington Post in the Culture section. It's a review by Emily Castrell of photographer Andrew Zuckerman's photographs of flowers. The purple Datra flower looks dominant and beautiful, even a little menacing. It dares to stand naked against a stark white void. It has no stem or branch or leaf, and everything is exposed and nothing is hidden. We know that its petals are momentary, so delicate that merely touching them between our fingers will render them totally non-existent. Yet the confidence with which the datura projects itself is such an isolated, pure state, demonstrates a rare and compelling power. This dynamic between the vulnerable and the powerful brings a relevancy to the image of the datura and to other flowers by the photographer Andrew Zuckerman. The juxtaposition of rigidity and rigor and a fragile, almost feminine form gives these images their distinctive beauty. Up to now, flowers are mostly portrayed as frilly, pretty things, but to me, the flowers I have chosen to shoot are painted as incredibly strong forms, almost architectural, Zuckerman explained. Communicating our vulnerability can also be read as a signal of our inner strength. Last month, Antoinette Tuft, the school bookkeeper in Georgia, armed only with her vulnerability, deployed it with extraordinary resourcefulness. Tuft opened up to Michael Brandon Hill, telling him about the breakup of her long-standing marriage and the challenges of having a disabled son. She was able to convince Hill, who was brandishing an assault-style weapon with 500 rounds of ammunition, to surrender. We have also become more willing to invite our friends and a broader public to empathize with our passing moods. Many of us have become blasé about sharing every machination of our internal lives on Twitter and Facebook, which today is actively encouraging us to post how we are feeling. Immersed in a whirlpool of information about our friends' psychological dramas, have we become less quick to judge? Projecting vulnerability as a sign of strength is not new. It is a theme running through Christian iconography and 20th century Latin American literature and painting. The Mexican painter Frida Kahlo, for example, placed her own suffering due to a horrific injury in a bus accident at the heart of her images, projecting herself with a proud and defiant gaze. Since I have had kids, Zuckerman said, I've become more interested in vulnerable, fragile subjects. And his process of capturing the peak moment of a flower's life also demands an unusual degree of care. From the moment when the flowers were cut to when I received them, it felt like we were handling a Fabergé egg or a baby. Everything had to be calm and quiet on the shoots, almost like a surgical operation. However, by choosing to portray the flowers as powerful and strong, Zuckerman is also revealing a deeper truth. The vulnerable have power. In order to portray our vulnerability to others, we have to acknowledge it to ourselves and be brave enough to discard the defenses that we habitually use to protect ourselves. But in doing so, we open ourselves up to deeper relationships and can evoke in others, as well as ourselves, a broader desire to protect and nurture.